So here's the project I found myself just kind of thrust upon me from the universe. So I got this seat bottom right here glued up, which I bought today, and I hauled it in this here wagon as I'm in Menards loading my supplies up in there. So, considering that that is a 57 Chevy wagon where I get my patty whacked at the Burger Shack in Drakesboro, I thought it was kind of notable to think that I'm going to make a bench made from doors that would come from a car like this. Not to mention that I hauled both the doors and all the supplies in the back of this very 9-passenger wagon right here. So, and here are my doors. They came off of a 55 Chevy. They're the back. It's a 4-door car, and these were the back. Some people then would say that it's a shame to use such a good door for something like this, but they're not that good. They're rusty on the bottom, really kind of eat up, and really not good for much anything. Most people would not save these. But I thought it was such a shame to throw them away, so I'm going to make a bench out of them. So there's the one door, and here is the other door. So my thoughts are, as I've been studying this and thinking about it, and no, I did not see this online. I thought about this on my own time, from myself, my own head, you know. I thought about this because I just hate to throw away interesting old vintage stuff. So here is my back that I figured out and thought about, and I've got it a piece of 1/4-inch plywood so it will flex, but it is framed out in this oak. Now, I didn't get really particular. I just used stuff that didn't have it full of knots, and I put a nicer, wider piece on the top, narrower piece on the bottom. Not really worried about the cosmetics too much. I'm more of the structure, so that's why I used oak, because it's tough. It'll handle it. So this right here, the ear of this will bolt. The ear of this one and the ear of this one on both ends will bolt right back here, and will go across here. And I'll bolt it into that, and it will also hit up here and go like this, and I will bolt it into that. So what's interesting is with this cutout for the fender, the rear wheel, it's going to have a nice little angle for the angle for the back. It's going to give a nice natural feel to it, just using those angles right there. And then I've got my seat frame here. I figured out how much I needed to raise the door up to get the seat at the right height. So when you're setting in the door, then your head is in this hoop. So it looks like you're kind of setting in the car right there. So I can get the door at the right height. So anyway, then I will bolt these on. I will bolt these right here on. And then I will bolt the back on. And then I've got my braces right here. I thought about making wood, but I thought these would be easier and be probably better maybe. And they're pretty cheap, like $1.50 for these. So I'll bolt these on there and then attach it to the seat bottom, so it gives the legs some stability. Although, you know, they will be bolted into this, so I have some anyway. Got all my sanding, my paint brushes. I put some clear polyurethane on it. So that's what I'm up to right there. And I've got my other leg assembly right here made up, and if you notice, I did a half lap on that, so that makes for a pretty good strong joint. So anyway, and as you sit in it, you can see it's laid back so that the seat will sit good and comfortable when you're sitting in it. So that's the project I'm working on right now, converting these old doors into a bench. Anyway, so then I will trim this up and make a wood piece, because I don't have the window garnishes anymore, and that's okay. I don't really need them, but I'll put a piece of wood on the top here so you can lay your arm and not be gouged up by this metal, and I'll trim it up, and then I'll make some kind of masonite door panel on it so it's smooth. Thought about cutting a hole in it here and making a recessed pocket so you could set a beer or a soft drink or something. You have it then to set on, and it wouldn't be in your way while you were sitting on the bench. Anyway, this will be the front of it right here, the front edge. So that's what I'm working on right there. Making these doors into a bench. So we'll see the finished product when I'm done with it. Anyway, that's what I'm up to. The struggle is real. Don't think it's always bubblegum, lollipops, and sunshine, because it ain't. Anyway, got to take breaks. It's humid right now. My back hurts a little bit. I get out of breath. Pretty easy. Whatever. But that's what I'm working on. Peace out. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye now. Hot Rods Woodshed. So as you can see, I have cut this section right here. I've cut that hole right there out because I was thinking about putting a little place where you could set a beverage, something recessed inside the door while you're sitting there. So the piece that I cut out, I used here on the back of this box. And so what I did was I made the box, the outside dimensions, the height of the opening up to here and down here. But I made the width so I could get a screw in it and I could like slide it down in there. Like this right here. So I can get it down in there and slide it in place and then get it in there, and then it fits back in there. Then I'll screw it only on the sides here and here. Won't really worry about the top and the bottom. And that'll hold it in place. And you've got the back side of the door here, the back side for that. So it's kind of interesting. And then I'll make a panel to go over the whole entire door, cover that up, maybe do a little decorative kind of a retro wedge shaped trim piece right there on it. But anyway, that's where I'm going with it. Anyway. So I'm working on this door, trying to create a filler panel to go in here. And so what I did was, originally it has a lip like this right here to mount your window trim. Okay, but I needed to cut it out on that little shoulder corner right there. Chop it off there, and get rid of that so I can create a void like this right here where I've cut it out. And then it allows me to put this filler in. Now I've cut this filler out of a piece of 1.5 inches, and I made me a pattern, and I had to be kind of particular about the bottom cut here on the bottom, because I mean, like the top was easy, just trace along the top of the door and you get that. But I had to be particular on the bottom cut because there's places in here, if you look, where there's a shoulder in here from the door. Right in here's one, and your wood then will sit on that, and you don't want it to sit like back here. You want it to sit on top of it. So you have limited, as you can see, limited amount. Here you've got a lot of room to work with, but here you don't. So I had to make sure that my template set right on that bend, and right on that bend right there. So when I cut them out, I can just drop them right down in place, and they'll all fit. So anyway, so here I'll put it the piece in here. If I can do it one-handed. And as it drops down in there, you see it will set right on that and right on that. And it fills that void out. And then I'll put some screws in it, tighten it up, and then I'll have it filling that out so you can rest your arm on it. And then my interior panel, I'll put an interior panel that will fit in here. Cut out the hole for my box here so I can set a drink there or phone or whatever. And put the panel on. Put the back right here. The back then will attach right up here. The back will attach up here and down here. Run across. Put the other door over here and I'll have the same thing. Anyway, that's what I got figured out so far. And so when you set on the seat, I've got it figured the height. So when you sit on the seat, then your head should be just about right in the window where you would normally be if you would be riding in it. Anyway, working on Tri-5 door bench seat. And here I'm cutting the door panels for it. And you can see the little drop down here. So that will be the front edge of it. And this will be the top. So you can see I'm cutting the line, cutting the depth. And so on. I've already cut some of it. So then I have yet to cut a square hole in it here for the little beverage box. Anyway,